Okay, Parshas Vayeira. States in Pasuk, Vayigash Avraham, wrong Pasuk. Vayigash Avraham, Vayamar Af Tisbet Tzadik in Russia. So the Rebbeinu Shalom comes and tells Avram Avinu that what's he going to do to Sdom, his plan. And Avram starts by Yigash Avram. I guess he came towards the Shechina, whatever. He had a revelation from the Rebbeinu Shalom, and he's Yigash. So in Medrash stated, what is the Vayigash? I think Rashi is going to bring it also. It just says Vayigash Abraham, Vayamar Reb Yehuda, the Rabbi Nechemiah, the Rabbanan. Reb Yehuda Omer Hagashal LeMochama. There's such a thing as called Hagashal LeMochama. He brings a pasuk in the Rehayamim Vayigash Yoav. Okay. Then Rabbi Nechemiah says Omer Hagashal LePius. There's a Hagashal LePius. Brings a raya from Yeshua. Vayiksha b'nei Yehuda El Yeshua. In Rabbanan Amrei Hagashal Tefillah. There's a Hagashal Tefillah, and also brings a raya. So this medrash also exists also later on by Yehuda when he came in front of Yosef, and also his Parshas, so he came by Yigash Alav Yehuda. The pshat is that also that these three things have the three same mandam, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Nechemiah, and the Rabbanan. And it's a sant, whatever. For Mechama, they bring a different pasuk, but it's the exact same pasuk in Divrei Yami as it is in Malachim. It's the same pasuk, So, but all right, so does he does. Shteitach and Rashi brings this medrash different rayas. Matzino hagashal Mechama v'yigash Yoav, v'hagashal Piyus v'yigash Elav Yehuda. So, which is not like that, but all right, this Rashi is a different medrash for this. V'hagosh l'tfila v'yigash Eliyahu hanavi. This is the same three things. U'lechol eile nichnas Avram l'daber kashus, which is melchama, l'daber kashus, and he's going to u'lepiyus u'letfila. So interessante Sach. The pshat is that Bishlom, you're in front of an antagonist. You're in front of somebody that's, whatever, an equal, not an equal, but an antagonist. Somebody could do something bad to you, and so you come in and you prepare yourself for Mechama. You're going to talk to him this. You're going to try to persuade him in different ways and stuff like that. But Avram Avinu is coming from the Rebbeinu Shalom. What are you coming with Mechama for? What do you need the Dabra Koshus for? Rebbeinu Shalom, you're talking to the Rebbeinu Shalom. You need a davar cautious? What kind of thing is that? I mean, you say what you have to say. You have a taina, so the Rebbeinu Shalom, how we do taina, it's beautiful, but what do you got to talk cautious. There's some kind of thing, you got to talk cautious over here. To me, it's a appella. It's mamash appella to him. Zweitens, the pshat is that what's pshat in the medrash? Everybody knows the other fellow's pasuk that you're bringing a raya from. But it's not. We're not making chedushim and psukim over here. So the pshat is so Rabbi Yehuda knows what Rabbi Nechemiah with the Rabbanan, that it's piyus and tefillah, and each one knows the other one. So why does one say one and one says the other? Like what is the Indian Shabbat that's going on? What's going on over there? So I think it's pshat is that the word Vayigash definitely incorporates these three ideas, the three inyanim from tefillah, from where you start Mechama and piyus and tefillah. There's nothing to talk about. I know your pasuk, and you see that Vayigash is all three different psukim, different rayas, whatever. So what are you arguing about? What's going on? So the pshat is that they're arguing. The pshat is that which is the ikar movement of the pasuk. It says aladrai nichlal in this here vayigash. But what's this one? Rabbi Yehuda holds that it's more the Iker movement is going for Mechama. And the Iker movement, according to Reb Nechemia, is going for Piyus. And the Iker movement, according to Rabbanah, is going for Tefillah. Fine, no problem. So that's what they're really arguing. Not arguing, it's impossible. You can't say that Vayigash means Hagosha. There's no Hagosha by Mechama, according to Rabbi Nechemia and the Rabbanah. No such thing about it. There is a Hagosha by the Mechama also. Everybody agrees to that. And Lamai, the Pshat is that they're saying that the Pshat is exactly what we said. It's which is the Iker. So Abazay said, you have to understand that when you're talking to the Ribbon Shalom, so the Iker Kasha was, you're talking to the Ribbon Shalom, where are you coming off to say cautious here? Where does that come from? What's the source to that? So the Pshat is like, Avraham Avinu is Torah. What Avraham Avinu is now saying is Torah. He learned Torah. His Shtei Kloyos were like Shtei Rabbonim, and then there was Naveya from his Kloyos. Das verstanden the gross of Avraham Avinu has verstanden Torah. So in the Torah, he understood that what's being used now in the Torah is, for his action is called a Vayigash. Vayigash is verstanden Vayigash Avraham. So das allein verstanden that this is how it is verteidigt in the Torah in Chumash. This is how it's going to be verteidigt. So Abazay the Pshat is so Avraham Avinu understood also that when you're relating to the Ribbon Shalom, if you're relating to the Ribbon Shalom, if you start the other way, when you're relating to an individual, you could say that you could verteidigt it that okay, so I hold by when the individual is coming in front of Paro, so this or he's coming, but the individual, the Iker Pshirish of Yigash is Lo Mechama. But and like we said, we understood the other two Taichim also like that. But the Iker, that's what we're saying. The Iker Taichim, Masha Ein, because an individual is not called Torah Kuli. He's not the ganze Torah, the panorama from Torah. He's whoever he is. Whoever is doing it is doing it. That's called Vayigash. And then we go up to the Chachamim to Fatayich where this fellow is coming from. If the Torah uses that terminology, so it means one of the three. It could be two of the three. It could be all three together. But it doesn't mean the lav daka. But that, according to these chachamim, that we're told, like we said, it's one of which is the ikar, push for the pirush of this word vayigash. Masha'en came when you're dealing with the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom is the Torah. The ganze panorama, the ganze Torah is the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu is Torah, Shteiter and so on. This is the Rebbeinu Shalom talking. So there's no pshat. It's like only one pirush of Yigash Geitarain when you're talking to Rebbeinu Shalom. When you're talking to Rebbeinu Shalom, if the Torah is using Vayigash, das meint it because alle muvanim from Vayigash Geitarain in this exchange between myself, between Avraham Avinu and the Rebbeinu Shalom. If the Torah is calling this a Yigash, and we're talking about the Rebbeinu Shalom, so the Pshat is a muchach that the Pshat is all muvanim, because the Pshat is that Rabbi Yehuda's Torah and Rabbi Nechemia's Torah and the Rabbanon's Torah, and like we said, it's just which one is the Iker, maybe and you can have it's Meglich or two out of three or 3 out of 3, but it doesn't have to be. But the first Iker Pirish. But that's when you're talking to the Rebbeinu Shalom, of this is the Torah, the Torah is Vayigash, and we're talking about the ganze Torah. You're talking about the ganze Torah, so it has to be a cautious also. There has to be a Mochamba in there also. So Avraham Avinu understood that his what he's now doing is a Vayigash Avraham. It's a Vayigash Avraham, so it's Muchrach, it's Muzayin, that he was Nichnas for all the Drei. The Chol Eile Nichnas Avraham, the Daber Koshes, or the Piyus, or the Tefillah. Because we're talking about Rebbeinu Shalom. It's our Rebbeinu Shalom. So there's no part of Torah that's outside of Rebbeinu. Oh, panorama, all the facets of Torah. That this is Rebbeinu Shalom. So Mele, if Vayigash, one facet of Vayigash is a Piyus, Muzayin is like if the Torah is calling it a Vayigash, so it's Vayigash, and we're talking about the Rebbeinu Shalom. So the whole Torah, the whole thing is going. So you could ask me, you would say like, all right, listen, I hear what you're saying, nice shtickle Torah, but this is maybe that's only when the Torah the Hagosh is mitzad the Rebbeinu Shalom. If the Hagosh is inside Avraham Avinu, so Vaiter. So maybe that's only one definition of the Vayigash. Who said? Where do you come off saying that this should be, like everything? It has to incorporate everything because of the Shechina, because of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Because of the Rebbeinu Shalom, good. That's when the Rebbeinu is doing the Hagoshim. So I think that the pshat is that there are words, there are verbs that you can use in the Torah that you're doing something, but lav dafka. There has to be a address. There's a address on the other side of the doing. Vayelech. He went. He doesn't really make a difference where he went. Vayelech is a pu'ula. The person is doing. He's going. Where he's going, where he walks, where he does. That's a different story. Where's ending up? That's not part of the Yelech. It could be that he's by Yelech to some place or it could be nothing. But Hagosha, when you talk about Hagosha, is by definition to the Tzveite. Hagosha is by definition there has to be a juxtaposition to the Tzveite that you are making the Hagosha to. So Mamela, that's how you were able to say that you can't say that this is just Avraham Avinu doing the Hagosha. It has nothing to do with Rebbeinu Shalom, and it happens to be like an entire the Pasuk that didn't say Yigash Avraham to the Rebbeinu Shalom. But that's what it is, because there's no Hagosha without going to the destination, without by definition. So by definition, we're talking about a Hagosha to Rebbeinu Shalom, and the Torah is using the word Hagosha, so it means that person who's making that Hagosha to Rebbeinu Shalom has to incorporate all definitions of Hagosha. And that's why the pshat is that's why over here Rashi says, because it's Mamash Apella. It's Mamash Apella. Who come there Avraham Avinu to Red Koshus and Rebbeinu Shalom? What do you mean? He just became familiar with him. He just had a relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom. He just this what Rebbeinu Shalom said. Avraham Avinu, I'm going to have to go and take out the stumps, all right, whatever, I'll find it, maybe not, maybe this, but you get cautious. There's no place for it. There's no place for such a thing. Elamai the pshat has to be, because this is a Yigash Avraham, and this is the Torah Fetchaish that they say, and this is a Metzias. This is the way it was, and Mela, like we said, it has to be all incorporated. That's why Rashi says L'chol Eila Nikdas Avraham L'daber Koshus or L'Pius or L'Tfilah, because that I don't think that this says in the Medrash here, or I don't think it said that all three. But they have the three Manda Omrim, and Rashi is telling you that they were the Nicholas for all three, because all right, this like we said. I think it's a different Yesod over here. It's a Poshet Yesod Satera. It's not just a Pshato. It's a Poshet Yesod Satera. All right, das ist eine Sache. Zweite Sache is, I don't know. Tell me
just a dumb question.
No, it's dumb.
Avram's coming to the Rebbeinu Shalom.
Right.
If it was the Rebbeinu Shalom coming to Avram,
right.
So then you could say that the Rebbeinu Shalom's Torah. So the Rebbeinu Shalom
is incorporative
of cautious. But Avraham Avinu is coming to the Rebbeinu Shalom.
Right.
So when he's talking to the Rebbeinu Shalom,
right.
Why does he? I don't understand how you answered the question.
I answered because that was the last thing I said. Because since Hagosha by definition has to be mechuba to the second to who you be magish to.
Okay.
That's those is nichlal in the Taich Hagosha.
And that's a Vayiyashel of Yehuda. So Yehuda was coming to.
You're coming to Paro. You're going to somebody else. You're going to a Shmega. So what's the difference? So then they have in the machlokas. What was the ikr? Where was his ikr impetus for coming? And what was it? One of these three things. But Rebbeinu Shalom, the Torah is calling it a V'yigash to Rebbeinu Shalom. So that's Muzayin. Whatever is the Torah is kolel, everything that exists in the Vayigash, that has to be that's how Avraham Avinu knew it. So the Pshat said that's why he preferred. It's like the Torah telling him Elaine. The Torah is up. is you got to come with a cautious, with one of the things, one of the facets of what you're coming with has to be with a divrei cautious also, the mechama. But because otherwise, it's a Mam Shapel, you fill off your chair, you're reading the Rashi and it just says Gaelish. It's where does that where is, I mean, Rashi's very good, but I'm just saying, like, where did Rav Rama know it from? How do you have a world to come like that to the Rebbeinu Shalom? Okay. Good, yeah. Okay, there's such a thing here. So I hope I'm saying that now I'll be a soda satire. It's like, I think that's something that's very important when we're learning for our own the learning. You have to understand that this is nifladik. We have a parsha here by Moshe Rabbeinu. By Moshe Rabbeinu Shteizach Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe Leibor Kachas Amate V'Hakel Es Ha'eder Ato V'Aaron Achicha V'Dibarto El Sela Le'nei Havenosin Meima V'Hotzeisel Lehem Mayim in a Sela V'Shkisa Es Ha'eder V'Esbirum. Famous parsha Meimer Riva. This is the Chet of Moshe Rabbeinu, which is Davar Sosum Ad Ma'od. Whatever the older Mefarshim give, attempt at a certain Ti'ima in verstanden was geht vor dort, but it's again we're talking about Moshe Rabbeinu was Moshe Rabbeinu was beyond is unbelievable. He's the Texarei Me'atme Elokim. That is Moshe Rabbeinu. It's unbelievable. So anyway, Vayikach Moshe es amata milifnei Hashem kasher tzivor. He took it. He took the mata. Vayakilo Moshe v'Aaron es hakol. El Pnei Asola, Vayamar Lehem Shimon Amarim Hamin Asola Hazen Alzi Lechem Mayim. So Moshe Rabbeinu is talking right away, Tipshim. What are you asking me to do? What's the narrative? What's going on here? Why did he get all upset? And what they were saying, take a cellar and get water out of the cellar. What's the big deal? It makes a difference which cellar. It has to be stampled with some kind of hechsher on it or something like that. You're making a nice. So nafkamina, there's a what cellar, then not bad. This is the all right. But Yara Moshe's Yara B'Yachas the cellar but Mateo Pamoyim. So he hit it twice. We all know. But Yitzam Mayim Rabim. This is Sach Mayim is rausgekommen von them. Teishta Eida V'Viram. So it's very hard to understand even just the poshet the poshet pshat in Chumash. So Rashi is going to say some niflidik zachen over here, which one side is going to make it easier to understand, and one side is very very schwer, according to me. So Hamina Sela Hazen Nazi. So again, so he says, "V'yabal hem shimonu hamarim hamin asela hazen notzi lechabayim." Moshe Rabbeinu tainis to them, for this cellar I'm going to be able to take out mayim. Lefishlo hoya makirin also. They didn't recognize what the cellar was. The Rebbeinu Shalom tells them take a cellar, and they didn't recognize what cellar was it. Why? Lefisha holach hasela v'yoshel lo bein asloyim kishnastala kaber. No, this cellar that the Rebbeinu Shalom told him to take and get water out of the cellar, Zakt Rashi, the Pshat said, we really don't know where the cellar is exactly. Now we jump back into the pile of stones here. So we jump back into the pile of sloyim, of stones over here. So we got a problem. The Rebbeinu Shalom take the cellar, and I don't really understand where the cellar is. It's a lot of choices over here. I got a quarry over here of stones. So what am I supposed to do? So Klal Yisrael tells him, Moshe Rabbeinu, what's the problem? Just take any cellar. What's the difference? You don't know where it is. Just take any cellar. We don't see the problem exactly. So he says, so Hamid cellar has that note. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I should take any stone and bring out water. Well, Yisrael, Amrim Lahem. Well, you have an interest here. There's some kind of special interest in what kind of cellar you're using. You take a cellar and hit it. Talk to it. Whatever, talk to it. Lekach Amar Lehem Amarim. That's Sarbonim. He says he's a tipshim. He says a shotim. Marim at Esma Reim. You're coming to tell me what the Rebbeinu Shalom says to do. Hamenasela Hazeshlo Nestabinu Alav Notzi Lechem Mayim. So Moshe Rabbeinu ties back a very richtig, yesod over here. The pshat is that Al Pi Svara, you have a svara. You have a ganz find a svara that, of course, according to the Rebbeinu Shalom, it doesn't make a difference which seller we take. But once the Rebbeinu Shalom tells me take this seller, take a specific seller, so then we have no right to do anything other than the tzivoy Rebbeinu Shalom. Moshe Rabbeinu was tzivoy Rebbeinu Shalom. That's it. I don't do anything on my own. I'm not. I have. We talked about Leis Megame Klum, David Melech, but this is the whole madrega from Leis Megame Klum. Moshe Rabbeinu was a Spakalia Hamiira. There was no mechitzas. There was Pal Daberbo. The Moshe Rabbeinu was just Rotzen. Just Rotzen Hashem. That's all. But Taxarei Me'at Me'alokim, and the Pshat is he was aggressive from all the Malachim. It was everything. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, tell them, yeah, I hear you svara, but we don't do that. We just do where the tzivoy is, whatever the tzivoy is, that's what we do. No tzivoy, we don't do. All right. I hear the vikuach back and forth over here. So Moshe Rabbeinu takes, okay, so what happened now? So now he takes Vayara Boshes Yara V'Yachas Hasela. What he found? All of a sudden he found it. What are you doing? You just gave a lecture. You just gave to Klai Yisrael, listen, we don't do, if I don't know what the seller is, so I'm not, of course the Rebbeinu can bring water from anything, from any other rock, for anything. But without a tzivoy, I don't move without a tzivoy. Next pasuk, V'Yara Boshes Yara V'Yachas Hasela B'Mateo. So now he's hitting a seller. So all of a sudden he found it. He must have found what's going on. Pamoyim. He hits it twice. Zakt Rashi. So why did he hit it twice? And we know the Rebbeinu Shalom told to talk to it. Lefisha berishana lo hotzi ela b'tipin. The first clap that Moshe Rabbeinu gave to the seller, the pshat was only tipin. Only drips came out. Lefisha lo tziva hamokim lahakasa. Because first of all, I didn't tell you to go hit the rock. I told you go talk to the rock. So Mamela, the Pshat said the first clap that you gave, that wasn't so effective. Ela v'dibartem al hasela. V'heima dibru el hasela acher. Oh, now we got problems. You're telling me that Moshe and Aaron went and talked to the wrong seller. They knew there was a problem with the seller. That's what they were tying to the Morim. That was they were tying to the Sarbonim. That was their tying to Klai Yisrael. That was Haxma China. On a tzivoy that the Chazai gate is nicht. And now all of a sudden you go and taking it and you talk to a seller. Behema dibru el seller acher below hotzi. Somehow they're talking to the wrong seller. Below hotzi, and the mind didn't come out because it was the wrong seller. Good. But how you people have to understand that this is an impossibility. Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't make mistakes. And if he was any kind of suffix about the seller, what the seller was, this the real seller that I'm supposed to be talking? So yes, the Rebbeinu, I really don't discern where and even that is shver. It's kosher ma'od. Moshe Rabbeinu was as Spakalia Mir means that the pshat is the Shchirim Medaber to Gronish on Moshe. There was no suffix, there was no sveikis, there was no shaila of the moving of tzivoy and of where the tzivoy is going and stuff like that. Seems like it's like an impossibility. We're talking about Moshe Rabbeinu over here. And not only did he not know, and then I guess he thought he knew, and then he thought, oh, Mo, this is the one, and he made a mistake. He talked to the wrong seller. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. How do you talk to? You can't talk to the wrong seller. You're Moshe Rabbeinu. There's no wrong seller. Amru Shemet Tzarek Lakos Giber Rishona. Oh, so Moshe Rabbeinu had it good. He's a Lamdin, so he says, all right. So if it's not working the dibur to the seller, and the Rebbeinu Shalom said dibartem al seller, so I'm talking to the seller. It's not He's not. The seller is not really letting out so much mayim over here. Not any mayim. So he says, you know what? The Rebbe told me to take the matas, so the pshat, he must want me to go hit it. Shnambar v'kisa v'tzor v'izdamalem osa sela. Shem tzarich lahakosa v'kibir v'shona. Maybe when the first time the Rebbe Shalom told me to take my matas, and there I hit the and I was motzi my so the pshat here also Shnambar v'kisa v'tzor. Over there he told him the four should go hit the tzor. V'izdamalem osa sela v'hikohu. Oh, this is getting more schwer by the second over here. I mean, this is unbelievable. He not only he talked to the wrong guy, he talked to the wrong fellow, the wrong seller over here, but now he says, he's doing the better. He has a svar now. Maybe I have to go hit it, and I hit it, and it's damen lehem. Also, seller v'ko. So Taka was the wrong seller. He was talking to the wrong seller, and he says he has a svar. I have to hit it. He goes and hits the cell of his daben load. It switched. They played a trick over here, and it switched. It came back into in front of him the right seller, and he hit it. But he was really only supposed to talk to that seller. And the pshat, so he hit it, and one time only drips came out. And then the second time the Rebbe says, "Oh, what's all done? They need water." So he gave water the second time with the second hakol. Telling you, Rabbanu Shalom, that this is we know if you know Moshe, like if you look at the Pirush Mashlayas, the Rambam, the Hagdama Tizroim, you're right. I should have got the tabs, but I forgot it. This is Litain Revach being partial to partial, so you can be misgone in a bit. So like this is unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's like it's come out an impossibility. It's like I just don't have the right words for it. It's connected all the ashkafos. We know that Moshe Benu, you don't argue. Nobody can argue on Moshe Benu. If Moshe Benu can make a mistake, so why can't I argue on Moshe Benu? He told me to create tzadar is an esrog. So I hold it's a pickle. What's the difference? So why can't you argue? Because Moshe Ben is Moshe Ben. Moshe Ben is pure, absolute Torah min hashamayim. There's the shkinim medaberes that are grown Moshe. There's nothing to talk about. Whatever Moshe Ben does is pure Torah. So how can it be pure Torah? And he has the Nevi'im who see Basbakaya Meira and all the Shlo'eno Meira. So they see according to their zich. They don't see clearly, but they know the message is clear. Every Navi sees according to his own whatever was air is. But if Shas B'Tsof goes self, he is the message is absolute. There's no suffix. And there's no wavering in what the message the Navi what it means. It's just that in the mahalach of how he sees it and what he sees, that's not clear. But Moshe is pure Torah. There's no suffix, there's no sfekis in Moshe Rabbeinu. There's nothing. Rambam says keseda. The pshat is that v'zeh ikar yesh l'chol amor al sodo v'hu shapirushim hamikubolim mipi Moshe. Any pshat that Moshe Rabbeinu said, Moshe Rabbeinu says a pshat, ein machlokes behem mishum ponim. Nothing. There's no machlokes there. It's not shaykh. You come in and you tell me that this is not true. That what Moshe Rabbeinu says, or under like a under pshat. The pshat is buzz. What do you mean? Not be karis. The guys in Mamish not be karis. There's no the mishum ponim. Rambam says. Shari me oz v'arato lo motzonu machlokas naflu bizman min amazmanim miyamos Moshe v'arav Ashi bein achilchamim kedei sheyamru echad amotzi ayin. With a different gives an example, but there's no machlokas, no such thing. It does not exist. If somebody comes and says and then he says later on, he breaks down into finif chalokim. The Dini Torah and the mitzvahs and stuff like that. So he says the first chaylik is pirushim ukubolim b'pi Moshe v'yesh lehem remez b'kosav the efshel l'matziyim b'derech svara. Just if you want, you could. Moshe says the halachim, and you could say, yeah, this taka makes sense. This comes from their pasuk and stuff like that. V'zeh ein bo machlokas. There's no machlokas in such a thing. Moshe Rabbeinu, there's a pshat and there's no machlokas in it. If somebody If a person comes and says, Kabbalah from Moshe Rabbeinu, that this even has a makor, you want to ding on the makor or something like that, but there's no machlokas whatsoever. The din is a din emes, amito, and there's nothing to talk about. There's no pickbook, no fakbik, nothing, gornish, no svekas. Chelik Hasheni. Hey, madinim shenamar behem alach Moshe b'Sinai, ve'ein rayas alehem. Like you said before, there's no rayas to Allah Moshe b'Sinai. Why you have to have a tefillin? The rituals have to be schwarz and stuff like that. So that there's no, but it's Allah Moshe b'Sinai. You walk around with tefillin that are not that the rituals are not schwarz, and the pshat says you're not yotzi. Finished. That's it. Nothing to talk about. There's no cholkim on Moshe Rabbeinu's Torah. Torah's Moshe, there's no cholkim. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu's mitzias and his nevuah was ben klor baruch hechama. There was no pikpukim. There was no demyonis in it. There was nothing else. Nothing was pure Torah. So how do you learn this parsha over here? The Rebbe Shlomo take a seller, talk to the seller. Moshe Rabbeinu, it jumps back the seller. Okay, that's a nice thing, a nice trick, but it goes back into the thing, and you don't know what seller is. And Klai is telling you, take any seller and get it. First of all, you don't know where the seller is. What kind of thing is that? So go ask the Rebbe Shlomo. I mean, it's not make look that you don't understand where the seller is. The Rebbe Shlomo takes the seller. Obviously, he says you know where the seller is, so take it. And he doesn't know where the seller is. It's I don't know how do you exist? How do you sleep at night with this? This is like impossibility. It's an impossibility. It's almost not possible. Such a thing. But nun kommt der Möglichkeit. There's the bottom of the seller, and he takes it, and the Shimon or Amorim, I mean, the seller says, "Nalzi lechem moyim." The Yara Moshe is Yodo. The Yachas is seller b'Mateu. Like we said. First, there was no tzivo lahakosa, and he's hitting it. He had a svara. All right, you have a svara, but this is not. This is left up for interpretation. This is the Rebbe Shem says we debartem, and Moshe. We're talking about Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu is clear. There's nothing to talk about. If the Rebbe Shem says debartem, and he meant debartem, so. Listen, there's no way in the world that Moshe Rabbeinu could think that you're supposed to hit it. And they had a svara, okay. Like you told me last time, you told me to hit it with take my mate. Now you told me to take a mate. So you didn't tell me to hit it, but I have a kabel chomer or something like that. You know, I have a binyanav, I have a this, I have a svara to this. But this is not this is not Moshe's svaras. We operate on svaras. This is Torah bara min hashamayim. This is Torah bara min hashamayim.
We said the pshat one that the Beis Ephraim says in the truth that the R Shlomo Miriam has tzura of a pia bear.
Right.
It can't be a bear. It doesn't have a pia bear.
Okay.
So the rock originally it had a hole, and he said wherever they went, it connected to the time.
Very good.
So it had a tzura of a rock.
Right.
Mixed in the pshat is because after Miriam went away, so it got filled up the rock. There was no tzura of a pia bear.
Okay.
So Miriam is saying maybe about you have to talk to get the mayim out.
So he talked to the right seller.
I don't answer that.
Well, that's what are you talking about? So what are you answering?
To answer what the pshat is why you say you have to make a pia bear. You have to make a tzura of a rock.
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, why do you have to make a pia bear?
You're trying to answer up why he hit the rock.
Right. Yeah.
How could he make a mistake? How can he get the wrong rock? How can he talk to the wrong rock?
So, first of all, say the pshat is that it got mixed up in all those.
It got mixed up.
Mixed up means it lost the tzura of a bear.
Okay, it lost the tzura of a bear. It was the right rock, but he lost the tzura of the bear.
No, because then if he would have talked to it.
Then when he talked to it, like the Rashi.
When it changed later,
that's what it says. What Rashi says.
Yeah, Rashi says that.
So he didn't because maybe it's talking the right one.
Why did
he say maybe the pshat is they have to have a matter because he said why do you have to catch?
I got the swear. It's a good swear.
Because you have to use the matter to make it into a.
But they talked. What does it mean? The hema dibro el sela acher. They talked to the wrong seller.
Yeah, You asked a lot of kashas.
What?
You asked a lot of kashas. I'm
But
not
this
going to
is-
answer everything.
Well, I don't know anything you're answering like that.
Why did Tipim come out if
What?
he spoke to the wrong? If he
No, he talked to the wrong seller and no,
no, but when he hit the
when he hit the right rock
if it's
because he wasn't supposed to hit it.
so why did Tipim come out?
Because
Nothing
so of
should
course
come
that's where we're holding over it now. The Rebbeinu Shalom made a mason and it came out, whatever.
So
Because it was
other-
the right seller, but
so
he
other
wasn't supposed to
nothing-
hit it. That's why he didn't react in Gansen the first time. There was a shtickle pegia here that you were supposed to talk to it, and you talked to the wrong one, and you finally got the right one, and you hit it. So you hit it. So now I'm not going to make everything go gleich and everything's going to come out like wonderful, beautiful. No.
And he knew it was that they spoke to the wrong one. So
No, he didn't know because then it was not in his dominant. We debated about the seller. The Hema Dibra al seller acher below Herzi. Amro Shema Tzarik la Kosib Commission. Maybe I have to hit it, like because that's why the Rebbeinu Shalom be taken. He keeps it so in his dominant also seller because sounds like it's without his knowledge. The right sword came because if he knew the right sword was a different one,
So why did he talk to it?
then he should have talked to it again, right? He should have started talking to the rocks again. So the Pshas about that, it sounds like he didn't realize that the right seller came in, but it's just that the point was that if it had been the wrong seller, so then even hitting it wouldn't have helped. Like he said, the Shimun or Hamarim. You guys, what do you call it? Tipshim with a shotim, only with a tzivoy. It's great, no, with a tzivoy. Okay, I'm telling you, it's no volume. We're not learning the Parshas Vayeira right now, but that's no volume such a thing. So just I want to give a little te'ima and what's going on over here. But you hear the problem. This is unbelievable. This is not just a pshatel, the nice pshatel, like this. This is from the Yesod of Satira. This the Rambam. If a guy comes and says that Kaki Balti Mimoshe, nothing to talk about. Well, I don't have to talk about. You would cobble. This is the rock. The rock. Maybe I'll say it's a different rock. What do you mean? Nothing to talk about. Where does that come from? That's the Metzias. Moshe is Torah. Torah is Moshe. And finished. Torah is Moshe Avdi. Nothing to talk about. So what do we do? So I think from our parsha, we can see this makes it a little bit better. A little better. A sach better, maybe. What is it again? What parsha are we on? All right. Again, we have the Malachim coming to Moshe Rabbeinu. So Nirika Anoshim.
Avram Avinu.
Avram Avinu. Yeah, we're going back to Avram Avinu afterwards. Parshas Vayeira. No choice. Vayomar Adonai, he says, "Ino motzasi chen beinecho al no salvar me'al avdecho." Chol, we're going to choose in Chol right now. Yukach no ma'at mayim v'rachatzu ragleichem v'shonu tachas ha'etz. Okay, Yukach no ma'at mayim. What sagt Rashi over there? Yukach no al yidei shliach hakadosh baruch hu shalem libanav al yidei shliach. Kadosh baruch hu is about he's doing it al yidei shliach over here. He says, go take this, Mayim. So the Kadosh Baruch Hu is paying back Al Yidei Shliach. Shenemar v'yorim Moshe es yodo v'yachas hasela. This is nifladik. What is Rashi saying here? Rashi is saying like this. We know the whole parsha is Maisa of a Simin Labanim. You come to Avram Avinu, is everything from Avram Avinu. Is a Maisa Avos Hans Fanzakon, the Maisa Avos, Sein Avos El Shlosha, this is Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. So starting with Avram Avinu is Unzura of, so Hagam is Av Haman Goyim, but he's Unzura of, the Pshaz that this is Maisa Avos Simin Labanim. Ma'isa Ovasim in Lebanon. So whatever he does is he told Al Yidei Shliach Shiur in Lebanon Al Yidei Shliach. Al Yidei Shliach he did Yukach No Al Yidei Shliach. Because Baruch Hu Shilei in Lebanon Al Yidei Shliach. Shenamar, where was the Shilem here? But Yoram Moshe's Yodov Yachas Sela. He went when Moshe Rabbeinu went and hit the cellar. Unser Pasha over there in Parshas Chokas, in Berichov. He says when he went there to hit the cellar, the Pshas, that was a Shilem. That was a Shilem because that was a Ma'isa of a Simen Lebanon. Oh. Jetzt haben wir Pesach to verstanden der Pasha. Why? Was ist geschehen over here? He told him, Yukach no ma'at mayim. V'rachatzu ragleichem. So Rashi is, Kizba shehem arboim. He thought these fellas were arboim, right? Shemeshtachim in lavak ragleihem. V'hikbit shlo hiknes avadazar lebeisa. Avalot shlo hikbit hikdim lina l'rechitza. So Moshe Rabbeinu was hikdim rechitza to lina. And Lot did it the right way. He was magdim the lina to the rechitza. Shnamar v'lina v'rochatzu ragleichem. So I'm going off a little bit over here because if you see, it's also in Unzer Pasha. So he says, but if you look by Lot, if you look at Lot here, Rashi says so my wife asked me this question like 50 years ago. Yeah, that's it. 50 years ago. 49 years or something like that. Vayomer hine no Adonai suru no el beis avdechem v'linu v'rachatzu. So what did Rashi tell me? That Lot said it the right way. He said linu, first you invite a person, linu v'rachatzu, then you wash your feet. And Avraham Avinu was so makbid on the Vodazora thing, he had to say rachatzu before the linu. The Lot did it correctly. Very nice. So the Pshat is so and Rashi over here, what does Rashi say over here? Yeah, what?
Why is that correctly?
Why is what?
To let someone come in and chill before they wash. If he's nervous about Avodah Zarah, let him wash and then
but that's not the normal way to do it. Okay, one second, we'll get to it. Rashi says over here by Lod. What do you mean? You have people trample into your house with the dirt and all kinds of stuff like that, and then you wash. No, you wash outside, and then you come inside. Why did Lot say first? Hurry! You come inside and merachatzu. Well, Rashi over here told me why he said it. That's the right way to do it. Now he's catching. Now it's not the right way to do it. Very nice. I'll bring you right from Abraham. They did the right way to do it. I don't know. I'm older, not that old. I didn't forget from 2 pages later. I mean, that's unbelievable. Whatever. So he had a terrorist why he had to do it like him. They bring it right from Abraham, and from Abraham they bring it right from Lot. So it's what's going. So we used to.
My brother once said a pshat mentioning. My brother Rafo once said a pshat before by mitzvah already. He said that, I mean, not like Rashi, but the stoim you had to say the linu v'rachatzu ragleichem that you'll be able to sleep in the bed and you wake up in the morning and slap feet.
All right, it's good. That's a nice pshat, but that's like that's all right. But Rashi, Tamil from Rashi, Beinu Rashi. That's all. Like we don't get meruchtish from the Rashi. That's it.
Rashi.
For pshat, for Baratz pshat was good, but not for Rashi. So I once heard. I think we went whatever. It could be this is from Moshe Feinstein. Or it could be that Rabbi Bluth once told me that because I had told him to answer Moshe, and it could be he came back. I forgot. I don't remember if he told me his own shot or it was from Moshe. That's why I'm saying it over. Don't mean. So there's 2 things involved. When you invite somebody into your house, you invite him first. Come in come wash your feet and then come stay by me. No, when you're inviting the guy into the house, when you're in the dibur, the invitation, you say, come stay by me. But in practice, before you walk into the house, wash your feet. Right? So it depends. Are you talking about the invitation, or are you talking about the practice? What the mice you do? So that's what's going on over here. That Avram Avinu first said Rachatzu Velinu. That's not how you do it. You first invite the guy in. Come be my guest, and this, and then you serve him. You serve him the water and this. You take care of him. So Moshe. Why did Avram Avinu do it like that? Because he was afraid that they were blind. He didn't want him to even step in the house, But he first said Rachatzu Velinu, but that's not the way you really do it. That's not the invitation wise. That's not the way. Masha'enken over here by Lot said Linu V'Rachatzu, but that was in practice. Come quick, come into the house, Linu. You have you stay over, baby, and then we'll wash your feet in the bathroom or something like that. No, that's not the way you do it. You take care of the fellow before it comes to that house, and then, but in practice. And that's why Lot was wrong in terms of practice. He should have done in invitation wise. He should have done the lino first. In practice wise, he did the lino first, and he should have did the rachas. So, all right, whatever, not bad. Anyway, getting back to the subject before you got me off the topic over here. So this is Shilem Ayidei Shliach. Oh, this is Nifla. Where was that? Vayeira Moshe. That was the Vayeira Moshe in the Parsha over there, and he hit the rock.
Why does he go till the Men Riva? Where the whole Abraham Shon and Midbar they got from Be'er Shal Miriam with a shliach or whatever shliach? How did they get it then? So Rashi is bringing the pasuk from Men Riva. It's a mandapel.
So what happened?
All 40 years. All 40 years in the middle.
The bear traveled with them.
They had it B'schos Miriam. There was a shliach involved, or it wasn't?
No.
There was no shliach till then.
The thing went. They followed us around. We got a
cooler. The same way
it was a pia bear. Like somebody told me there had to be a pia bear.
But I'm saying, but if all so there was also not a shliach then.
So, but here was Vayeira. That was Amiga. That was the Maisa of a Simin Labanim. The Maisa of us by Avram Avinu Simin Labanim. What happened by Avram Avinu?
But you think until then the attack got Mayim also not.
I'm gonna say, but here had to avoid the Nifla did a thing. Los is geshain by Avram Avinu. He made a mistake. He thought these fellows were Arboim. He thought these guys were coming in and out there Varazara. These are Malchei Hashem. These are Malachim. He made a mistake. Oh, he made a mistake, and this is a Maisa of a Simin Labanim. Says Muzain in the Maisa Moshe, and the Muzain in the Vayerim as Yodo. It has to be Vayeira Moshe as Yoda v'Yachas Asala as Muzayin licked in their Maisa Torah. Not because of Moshe, not because of Nebuas Moshe, not because of any kind of Nechos Darga Chalila, not because of anything like that. But in Metzias there has to be the B'shara said that there has to be some kind of grace over here. It's Muzayin, it's a Maisa. Whatever's given by Maisa, there's a Simin Labanim. So Mamela, the B'shara said that's this is the Makor. As what's going for? I'm sure that they were all confounded over there. What's going on? How is it Shaykh Moshe this and then I know and this about it because this is a Ma'aseh Bonim. There's a similar Bonim.
All 40 years also there was Moshe Ben hitting the rock. There was a tzivui of
that's what he said. Kisa Satsuri told him that. That's why he told him until he had that. But here had the Ma'aseh.
That was also denied the shliach. The Gemara is saying that the man came Ayidei Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and this came.
All right, ich weiß nicht, but this is my monumental problem that I will tell you. It's an impossibility. Moshe Rabbeinu does not make mistakes. Understand? Moshe Rabbeinu does not make mistakes. Ad Kadei Kach, if you say I have a dip for Moshe Rabbeinu, it's strike. There's nothing to talk about. Moshe Rabbeinu. Oh, but if it's a Maisa of a Simin Labanim and the Maisa of us, they lick the Agrais, they lick the Torahs over there. Says Muzayin, even by the Simin Labanim, there's got to be some kind of Torahs over there. And Mamela, that's what from them lick them is the Makor for the Torahs by Moshe Rabbeinu. Nifla Admod.
Very good.
All right.
Yeah.
What it is.
As you do find some